Okay, this is an extra review for your Unit 2 Trig test. When I got to looking at it, I had generated a PDF of your review sheet. What I didn't realize is that this copy that I made this flip chart from, the problems are actually different than the review sheet that you have. So I'm going to work through it, but it's not the exact same as your review sheet. So just so you know, don't be looking at this in your review sheet and expecting the answers and the problems to be the same, because they're not. I guess the good thing about it is it gives you more practice and some more problems to work with. So let's just go through this. I have yet to work through these problems, so I'll be working them for the first time myself. It's probably going to take about 4 videos to get through all of it. So here we go. First things here, make sure you pay attention to what it asks for. It says find B. So come over here, locate B. Then you got to pay attention to your angle. Your angle is going to determine which trig function you need. From this angle, this side is adjacent. Hypotenuse never changes. But if you've got adjacent and hypotenuse, you need cosine. So cosine of whatever your angle might be, and then the adjacent side, which is B, over the hypotenuse, 621. So remember, put that over 1. You can cross multiply, and that's going to be B equals, let's see here, 621 cosine 36 degrees 30 minutes. So it's just a matter of typing that in. Make sure your calculator is in degrees when you're doing this. We'll swap to radians later on. So cosine 36, and remember that's plus 30 divided by 60. If you realize that that's half a degree, that's lovely. You could just do 36.5. But we're going to get 499.195 or 0.2. So looks like D is our answer here. Okay, moving on. Again, works the exact same format. Find C. Okay, now that's little c. Here he is, right there. It's telling you that this angle up here is 58.45 degrees, so you are shooting from angle B. From angle B, they gave you, again, the adjacent side, and they are asking you about the hypotenuse. So once again, you are using cosine of your angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. Now it is going to have a different feel to it when you go through because your unknown is in a different location. So when you cross multiply, you're going to have 374 times 0.3 times 1, and then you're going to have C times cosine. So C times cosine 58.45. So it's totally different feel there. Now you have to get your variable alone. So basically you're dividing both sides by cosine 58.45. So I'm not going to write it in both spots. You just need to type 374.3 divided by cosine 58.45. And it should give you the correct answer, 715.35. Looks like we've got a winner again in D. Okay, solve the right triangle. Now you've got to remember, when you see this, that means all 3 sides and all 3 angles. Okay, so I like to list. That's just me. You can do it the way you want to, but I like to list out what I got. Keep in mind that you always know before you ever get started, angle C is 90. They never have to tell you that. Looks like they did tell you. But if they don't, that's an understood. Little a is 1.8, big A is 48.4. And then you can go through and find the others. Now, you're only going to need trig for one of these items. So when you come in here and you're locating angle B, and by the way, you could do any of these 3 missing components in whatever order you choose. It really doesn't matter. Just, you got to pick one and roll with it. So if you want to go ahead and get angle B out of the way, that's fine. Just know that the 2 smaller angles, the 2 acute angles, they have to add to 90. So there's no sense in adding these up and then subtracting from 180. You're wasting your time. Just say 90 minus 48.4. Okay, and you can type that in your calculator, but that is going to be, let's see here, I probably need to type it in a calculator. It's so much easier that way, 41.6. But yeah, if you just change that to the 89, that works just fine because we had a bar. Okay, so 41.6. You've got angle B. Now, I would only use the information given in the problem to find the missing pieces. So don't use the 41.6 just in case you know, made a boo-boo. I don't think that's really going to help you. So if you look in every answer, we really didn't accomplish anything by doing that. But it would help to draw the picture. So this is C, and I tend to put my A up top and B at the bottom. So little a I put down here. This is little a, B was 1.8, and angle A was 48.4. Now, just make a choice. I'm just going to go for ABC order. Little b, he's over here. So if that's the case, from this angle, this side is opposite, this side is adjacent. That means tangent. So tangent of my angle equals 1.8 over b. Put that over 1, cross multiply. So that gives me 1.8 equals b times tangent 48.4. Once again, since you've got b times tangent, you have got to come in here and divide by tangent 48.4. Do that on both sides. So I've got 1.8 divided by tangent 48.4. B ends up being 1.5698. Looks like they rounded that to 1.6. So if we can find B to be 1.6, this looks good. So this one's out. And oh, that does it. That's the only one that did that. So that right there gives you your answer. Lovely. You don't even have to find C. Now, if you did want to find C, since you found this to be 1.6, you could do Pythagorean theorem. You could come through and do 1.6 squared plus 1.8 squared equals C squared. So just in case you needed that come test time, just type those in. But remember to do square root of your answer, and C ends up being 2.4, which is exactly what we found in our little problem right over here. Okay, so it might be necessary come test time. All right, number 4 is another one where you had to solve the triangles with same setup. Big A is 64 that's 64 degrees at 5 minutes. So it's not a decimal, it's minutes and seconds. We don't know angle B. We obviously know angle C. A, we don't know. B, we don't know. C is 258. Okay, so once again, you've got to subtract. But remember, when we do 90 minus 64 degrees and 5 minutes, what you're really doing is borrowing. This is 89 and 60 minutes. So when you subtract, we've got 55 minutes here, and 89 minus 64, 9 minus 4 is 5, 8 minus 6 is what, 2? So we need to find, let's see here, 25, 55, and probably, well, that did help some, didn't it? So this one's out, and this one's out. Well, we at least halved our answers. So probably would help to draw the picture. We have an A and a B and a C. That's just my standard way of drawing them. That way I don't get confused. I'm a creature of habit. Oops, I keep writing that as a decimal, and it's not a decimal. It's degrees, minutes, and seconds. 64 degrees at 5 minutes. There we go. Okay. C, little c is over here, opposite of C, so 258. Now, I just tend to go in ABC order, just to do the same thing every time. If I need little a, got to think about it. This is my angle. Opposite of that, well, obviously opposite, this is hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse is sine of my angle is a over 258. Put that over 1, and let's cross multiply. A equals 258 sine 64 degrees 5 minutes. Now this is lovely. You don't have to do any division. All of your numeric information is on one side. So 258 times sine 64 plus 5 divided by 60. And that comes out as 232. Now it does say 0.05. So if we want to get all technical, it's like they went to 2 decimal places on that. So yeah, it's got to be option D because A did not have that value. So you can use that bit of information to weed it down. You really didn't even have to find side B here. But again, if you wanted to find side B, you know, take what you know, put this up there. You could use Pythagorean theorem. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. You could use Pythagorean theorem to then find side B. So you'll just have to, I'd highly advise you to use process of elimination. Okay, you do have a series of word problems in here. Draw the picture, draw the picture, draw the picture, draw the picture, draw the picture. Crazy woman telling you draw the picture. A building has a ramp to its front door. So draw it kind of like from the side. You're always wanting to come up with a triangle. So just think about, what does a ramp look like? You know it's going to be kind of long and skinny. And it's especially if you got a wheelchair or something going up it. So if the distance from the building to the end of the ramp, and they have to define what the distance is. So look at what you're connecting from the building to the end of the ramp. Guys, they're talking horizontal distance. When they say distance here, that is horizontal distance. So end of the ramp, building, boom, 23 feet. Put them in your picture. And then it says the height. Height just means vertical, guys. Right here, that's 7 feet. It wants to know, blah, 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 how long is the ramp? So basically, how much wood did you put in the ramp? Your trig was used in drawing that picture. There's no trig used in solving this, because this is a Pythagorean theorem question. That's a right triangle. You're assuming that these things are perpendicular. So 23 squared plus 7 squared equals x squared. So just type it in like that. 23 squared plus 7 squared equals, and you don't have to write all this, but just so that you can keep up with what I'm seeing, I see that I get 578, do square root of your answer, and I get 24.04 is x, and that's going to correlate to option C. So not too bad. All right, we got time for one more. We've got a boat on a river below a dam. To me, that is a very strange scenario. So, but just think about it. You've got a dam over here. Again, you always have to have a triangle, guys. It's got to be a triangle. So here's your dam. It's holding back the water. Here's your little boat over here. Those of you that know me know that my art is lacking. Angle of elevation. You're looking up to the top of the dam. 21 degrees, 52 minutes. If the dam is 2,920 feet above the level of the river, so they're specifying the height, how far is the boat from the base of the dam? See, again, they have to specify boat to the dam, boat to the dam. That is horizontal distance. So that's where your x goes. So think about it. Here's your angle. You're actually going to use some trig here. Which function? This is opposite. This is adjacent. Opposite and adjacent is tangent. Tangent of 21 degrees, 52 minutes is opposite value over adjacent value. Turn that into a fraction. Let's finish this one up. Cross multiply. 2920 equals x tangent 2152. And we're going to need to divide that out. Let's do this rather quickly so I can get it in the time constraints. Make sure you type 21 plus 52 divided by 60. And I've got 7,275.96. So 725, yeah, right here, D. They just rounded to the nearest foot. So I will see y'all in the next video.